Hello, 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 Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to season 5 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. I'm KL Brady, and welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad to be back with you guys today. I have been seeing all kinds of news about Christmas in July and more Christmas movie news about the season ahead. So I wanted to jump on and make a quote unquote quick show, but we know how that goes with me. Every time I say something that's quick, it never goes quickly. I try to shut up, but I can't. I can't stop talking about Christmas movies. I love them so much. So much has been going on, and here at Casa de Chicks on Christmas Flicks, right? So first, I ordered new windows. About 2/3 of the windows that I need for the entire house, right? I have about 23 openings that require 30 windows, and they arrive this coming Monday. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you guys. When I had a contractor come out to my house before, I think he was scaring me to try and try to get business out of me, but I put up a good face while he was here. But ever since, I've been scared to death. He said, "Yeah, your windows are about to fall out." Now, I have looked at videos on how they install windows, and I know that they're actually screwed into the frames now. But before I actually looked that up, he had me scared to death. I was going to be sleeping at night, and my windows were just going to fall out. So, honest to goodness, I did not order from him, because how dare you scare me to death about some windows. But so I went with another company, but I did, get the windows taken care of. So, I have the windows coming. So that's one thing that I've been busy with. Another thing is that I updated my bedroom a little bit. Last year, I think I put some new carpeting in the upstairs, but I hadn't really done too much to my bedroom itself in terms of, just kind of refreshing it. I don't know why. Every now and then, maybe every other year, I kind of get in a mood where I've got to refresh my house. So I did kind of a writing nook in my bedroom, and I absolutely love the writing nook. I love the color. It's very not me color. I'm normally black and white, right? Beige, very black, white, and beige. And the color of my writing nook is all cranberry. Everything is this deep red, this cranberry color. So I'm really excited about that. It honestly does helps me get energized in the morning. I set up my writing spot. I write before I go to work, and I'm hurrying up and finishing my day so that I can run back upstairs and get to my writing spot. So that's what I hope to get out of it, and it was well worth every penny. Although I did get everything kind of on sale or on budget. I think the core of it was probably about $500. I will show a picture of it on Twitter, because I just want you guys to kind of share in the fun. But anyway, so I've been working on that. Another thing I tried to do was set up a podcast spot in my bedroom, so that, because at night when I try to record, I have to walk from my bedroom to the recording room, and I have my puppy Tiger, and if he hears any sound, so much as a crackle of a noise, he will start barking. And he doesn't sleep very heavily at night, and so that's all we need is me trying to record at 3:00 in the morning and him barking his head off at 3:00 in the morning, waking everybody up in the house. So I tried to set it up in there, but I'm having some struggles with the connectivity and everything. I tried to get my son to set it up just a few minutes ago, and it didn't go well. So needless to say, I'm back in the regular spot. I'm recording. I'm really excited about getting this show out. Today is really all centered on Christmas in July. I was planning to do a show of my top 25 Christmas classics, but that has been superseded by the fact that all this Christmas in July news is out. I do have some insights into what the first 3 to 4 days of Christmas in July will look like, so I had to share that. And then I just got so much more news to talk about in terms of like the Christmas holiday and what movies are coming up from Hallmark and other streamers. So anyway, got a whole bunch of news in store, and I'll talk. And this week I will talk a little bit more about the season. Anyway, first things first. St. Nick shout outs. As always, I love beginning the show with a shout out to listeners. You know, that's my favorite tradition of this show. God, I mean, can you really believe this is season 5? I mean, can you really believe it? I don't know, those of you who are out there who have been listening for 5 years, can you believe I've been doing this for 5 years? I honestly cannot believe it. I'm excited though. It energizes me. This season, Christmas in July, and then countdown to Christmas, I mean, it just energizes me. As you can hear, I'm a little more bubbly probably than I was like the last time. Some household drama's been taken care of, but also the fact that I just love Christmas movies, and we're coming up to Christmas movie season, and we're coming up fast. Man, have I got some Hallmark news for you guys. But anyway, so I'm truly thankful to anyone and everyone who squeezes this podcast into their busy schedules or makes time for me to listen to me and me pontificate about Christmas movies outside of their busy schedules, right? So today, again, short St. Nick shout outs. I will resume the long versions once Christmas in July begins, and of course all through the Christmas season from October to December and the countdown to actual Christmas. Anyway, so let's just get to it. I've got 5 locations, as always. And remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. The first location is Mexico City, Mexico. Yay! Thank you for listening to the show. I'm so excited to have you guys on. Number 2 is Palm Harbor, Florida. Palm Harbor, Florida. Thank you so much for joining the show. Number 3 is Medford, Oregon. Medford, Oregon. Thank you for joining the show. Number 4, all the way across the sea from UAE, Abu Dhabi. Thank you so much for listening in. Whoever's out there listening in Abu Dhabi. One of the groups that I am in on Facebook actually had a trip to Abu Dhabi. So something tells me like one of the ladies from the group is actually listening. If that's the case, hey girl. Number five. My cousin actually lives out in this area, I think. Tucson, Arizona. Thank you so much for listening in. I'm so excited to be here today with you guys. Thank you so much for just listening in week after week after week after week. Next up is Ho 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 holiday headlines. So now it's time for some Christmas and TV Christmas movie news, all right? Just a couple of things today. First of all, new couple alert, right? I'm so happy. You know, Hallmark seems to be the place where like so many people like find their soulmates there. And that's got to be for a reason, right? It's got to be for a reason. Like, I don't think you can work in a negative environment and really be happy and find your soulmate and work there continually, happily, movie after movie, show after show, right? I saw two sets. I did not know Aaron Krakau's boyfriend, partner, husband was actually a Hallmark star. I did not know that. And then I saw her doing an interview with Kevin McGarry. And of course they showed this picture of Kevin with his girlfriend Kayla. I think it's Kayla. Um, so showing, I think, and that's his fiance now or his girlfriend now. I don't want to rush the relationship if they're not like together like but I think they're like they might as well be engaged at this point. And so this is a new couple. I mean, there's so many Hallmark couples, but this is a new couple that kind of emerged from the last season. So I was excited to talk about this. So if you liked, of course, one of my favorite couples is Julie Gonzalo and Chris McNally, right? If you love them, then you're going to love this new couple. The Hallmark Channel is the channel of love, of L-O-V-E, right? And many happy couples who met on the set of the network's movies include the new couple from 2023, Katie Cassidy and Stephen Huszar. Now, if you'll remember this couple, they played together in A Royal Christmas Crush, right? He played a Scandinavian royal, and she played an architect who fell in love at this amazing ice hotel. Well, now they're a couple, and from what I understand, they are talking engagement after a year. So let's give it up for Stephen Huszar and Katie Cassidy. I'm so excited for them. Wonderful. I wish nothing but the great thing, and I wish them the way of other Hallmark couples who they seem to be together, get together, and they're genuinely happy together. So that's great. And it's always great to have somebody who understands your work. Like I have never appreciated that characteristic in anyone until I got into this crazy business that I'm in right now. Like having someone that really understands your work, how insane it can be, your work hours, and how, and just not having to explain that and all that. That's the most wonderful thing in the whole world, because you get talking past all the work stuff, and you can kind of push it to the side because they understand what you go through. And then you can really focus on, other important things in life, right? Things that you really kind of don't know about each other on a more personal level. So anyway, I'm so happy for them. And then, so the next piece of news, summer may be around the corner, but production on Christmas movies is well underway. The summertime is like the big time for Christmas movies, right? Over 100 movies will likely premiere across the feel-good networks, including Lifetime, Hallmark, and Great American Family. The latter, Great American Family, recently announced the latest addition to their 2024 Great American Christmas lineup, A Prince in Paradise 2, A Royal Proposal, the sequel to last year's non-holiday hit, A Prince in Paradise, which honestly I did not see. So, but that's kind of exciting that they have this coming up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cover a couple of movies for the 2024 Christmas season, and then I'm going to take a quick break and we're going to talk about Christmas in July, because there is so much news for Christmas in July. Okay, so the non-Christmas in July news centers around Lifetime. So Lifetime has announced one of its upcoming holiday movies, and it marks the return of somebody who I have not seen in far too long, who I love, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Right, it's just been a while since she's been on the channel. The actress will direct and executive produce Lifetime's The Holiday Junkie. That's a working title. So, sometimes with working titles, they end up changing the actual title when the movie comes out. The film is based on Hewitt's a love of the holidays as well as the loss of her mother. Lord, I can so relate to that. Where I kind of released a lot of my, pain of losing my mother, who is absolutely numero uno Christmas crazy person I've ever known, is in my book, The Nick Before Christmas. So if you care to check it out and want to hear a story about kind of the loss, how do you deal with the loss of your mother, second act, blah, 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 The Night Before Christmas. That's my story. But anyway, so we're getting back to Jennifer because we didn't come here to talk about me. We come here to talk about her. Anyway, so the film is based on Hewitt's love of the holiday as well as the loss of her mother. The movie will also feature Hewitt's husband, her actual husband, Brian Halliday, and their children. So she got the whole family affair going, right? According to Deadline, the movie follows the decorating and planning service company run by Andy Hewitt and her mother, Mimi. After Mimi passes away, Hewitt's mom, Andy is forced to face her first Christmas without her mother. I'm telling you, that is hard. And carry the holiday junkie torch on her own. Now, let me tell you something. Christmas crazy, holiday torch, same thing. When your mother is so engrossed in Christmas, like, how do you deal like that first Christmas when everything, like, they made everything, that was so hard. Despite the challenges, Andy may also find some love at Christmas along the way. Hewitt previously starred in The Client List. Do you remember The Client List? That was like serious. I couldn't believe she played in that movie and that movie was actually on Lifetime. I mean, it was wild. If you haven't seen The Client List, then you can find it anywhere. You check it out. You'll probably be like, wow. And that movie then spawned into a television show in which she also starred. So, there was a lot happening with Jennifer and Lifetime. Okay, so listen to this. So this is another really neat piece of news. So they have a few articles out about how Hallmark producers reveal secrets about filming Christmas movies, including fake snow and hot actors. How about that? Hot actors. Now, that probably doesn't mean what you think it means. But anyway, I have to tell you guys, so I have had one conversation with a director of Christmas movies, right? And I could not believe all of the beans he spilled about how Christmas movies are made, and the fake snow and all of that. I was astonished, truly, because I was living in, I don't know what world I was living in, where I really believed they filmed in December, and he's like, no, we film in the middle of summer, and that's fake snow I'm like, fake snow? They just ruined everything. This movie that he directed and produced, they actually filmed a true snow scene in it, but they had to fly out to a glacier and film it on a glacier. So this big snow sled scene where, if you think hard enough, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But you think you may not. There's a lot of snow sled scenes out there. But they had to fly out to a glacier, film the snow sled scene, and then they ended up getting, I think they ended up getting stuck out there. It was the helicopter had problems getting back to pick them up, and they were stuck out there for a little while. I can't really reveal the movie that's from, but suffice it to say, when I saw this article about the secrets that these producers reveal about the movies, I immediately went back to this conversation that I had and all of the things that he was telling me about the fake snow and the rush timeline and all of that kind of stuff. So let me just break down a few things that this article says, which I think is fun. First of all, Hallmark movies only take a couple of weeks to film. During the pandemic, then Hallmark star Candace Cameron Bure let the cat out of the bag that teams were filming Hallmark movies in pods. But, in the article it says, I didn't realize the swiftness with which these notoriously cheesy holiday movies came together. In fact, journalists visiting the set of the 2023 holiday movie Mr. Christmas found herself watching a scene in which leads played by Jesse Schramm and Chandler Massey distributed flyers. Getting shot reportedly only took a few takes. Only takes a few takes. I mean, these things, in order to be profitable, you got to come with your game. Even more interesting, the average runtime for these Hallmark movies is only 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks of film, what brings joy for years. I mean, you gotta love that, right? And that can include the casting process, wardrobe fitting, and learning the script. So you know how your brain has to work in order to remember? I can't remember what I ate for the last meal. Like, how am I going to remember my whole script for a whole movie? Those guys are geniuses. Big ups to everybody who makes Hallmark movies. Okay, so the second thing is, why so many Canadians are in Hallmark movies? Why are so many Canadians in Hallmark movies? A rundown of the making of Hallmark movies from a few years back explain why Hallmark fans see the same faces over and over again. Not only do short filming times allow actors to take on multiple projects for the network every year, but Vancouver Magazine revealed a while back that Hallmark is looking for tax credits, right? In order to receive the full benefits, the cast must be Canadian. So the reason why you see so many Canadians in Hallmark movies is because they got to have Canadians in order to get the tax breaks. How about that? Okay, so all the Christmas cheer, it's often movie magic or added in post-production. One thing Hallmark movies nearly always have is an abundance of snow. I just told you guys, it's fake snow. I couldn't believe it. When I went back to look at this movie, I was like, oh my gosh, there is fake snow. That snow is fake. And now I can really see that it's that it's fake. I should have asked him about the hot cocoa thing, because I don't know if I have a show about that. Like all these kind of like quirky things that you see in Hallmark movies, like the Folgers can and the hot cocoa. I'm like, how, when I make hot cocoa and I put a bunch of marshmallows in it, they melt. They melt because of the hot water. They immediately dissolve and then it becomes this foam on top. How do they have these hot cocoa things with this brimming over with marshmallows and they don't melt? And like they get the little milk mustache and stuff, but how does that happen? Like, either marshmallows or whipped cream, and it's just they get a little bit on their lip, but their cup's like overflowing with it and it never goes away. It just lives forever and ever. My guess was that they use chocolate milk and not hot chocolate, which is why they can drink it and it sits there and it doesn't melt, right? I don't know if that's true or not, but that was my guess for how they did it. But I should have asked him, Like, how does that happen? Like, how do you guys make that happen? Because this movie did have hot cocoa in it, a cup of hot cocoa in it that, where the marshmallows never died. And I'm like, how does that happen? Anyway, so one thing Hallmark movies nearly always have in abundance is snow. Snow on the sidewalks, snow in the yards, snow twinkling from the rooftops, right? It makes for a charming picture. However, as it turns out, there are very few Christmas decorations actually set up when Hallmark movies are filming. In fact, a producer told Vogue that when they were filming at a museum in Mystic, that most of the Christmassy feel of the movies is later added. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Like, that would be so disappointing to me because it always feels so Christmassy and homey. That kind of caught me in the heart right there. I'm like, not the decorations and the snow. Yeah, I mean that kind of hurt. The next thing, it can be very, very hot while filming. When Mystic Christmas was filming in the town of Mystic, Jessie Schramm, that's one of my favorite actresses, was noted as being 67 degrees, which is a far cry from balmy, but not very cold weather either, right? This isn't a surprise given the shoot was happening on the coast in the summer, but it checks out given some of the social media posts we've seen from Hallmark stars in the past. And we've seen a lot of stars filming in the middle of summer, and you kind of see them standing around with the big jackets, with the big down-filled jackets and, stuffed to the gizzards with feathers and down. And then they've got fans on them because it's so hot. because it's hot and, they have to film in all these winter clothes, these hot sweaters and stuff like that. So that's kind of crazy. But anyway, so I just wanted to share those things with you, and having actually heard it directly from a producer or director myself, I wanted to affirm to you that not only has this article been written, I probably should cite it because I don't want to get in trouble for it. So it's an article from Cinema Blend by Jessica Rowden, published June 8th, 2024. I will send this out on Twitter with the link, okay? So everybody has it and can see what I just read from. But anyway, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so with all that said, I'm going to take a quick break, but I will be right back with everything Christmas in July. Stay tuned.
Now available for pre-order, are you looking for the perfect romantic comedy to help you find your calling and renew your faith in Christmas magic this holiday season? Look no further than The Nick Before Christmas, a heartwarming story about one woman's journey to her second act and back to her first love. Nikki Wright is ready to celebrate the big 5-0 for Christmas in July, but a hot flash leads her to a sobering realization. Her life has hit rock bottom. Her successes, the home and the car, feel empty. Her vision board has been a waste of time, her job is unfulfilling, and she's mulling over a proposal from Smith, who she's certain she doesn't like. The best day of her life spirals into the worst. During a near-death experience, a meeting with her guardian angel presents Nikki with an ultimatum. Either go to heaven or return to Earth and find her second act by Christmas Eve. If she doesn't succeed, her future's bleak. Her life will be filled with days no better than the worst. With only a few months to make her dreams come true, can Nikki achieve her second act and rekindle an old flame with Jordan to have the Christmas of her dreams? The Nick Before Christmas delivers unforgettable moments of self-discovery and romance. It's an enchanting story of love, hope, and faith that will fill your heart with joy this Christmas season.
And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. All right, now it's time to break down Christmas in July, all the stuff that's coming up, the new movies, plus the schedule for the first few days so you know what I will be tuned in to watch, okay? And hopefully you will too. And I have to get back to my daily top 3 during the Christmas in July season when we're in the thick of it, all right? So, as you probably have seen and know by now, but if you don't, here's news for you. Let's start with Christmas in July begins in June, okay? Now, Christmas in July on Hallmark Mystery begins next weekend, the 21st. We're going to get our first 24/7 weekend of movies from Hallmark Mystery. The Christmas movies on the Hallmark Channel begin June 28th. So we will get the movies on Hallmark Mystery starting a full week earlier than the movies on the Hallmark Channel, which is the way they normally do it anyway. I honestly, because of the rebranding, I feared, but was kind of anticipating that they were going to kind of change the lineup and how they ran the movies and which movies they ran on Hallmark Mysteries. As it turns out, I am happy to report I am completely wrong about that, right? It looks like they are going to run Christmas in July just like they always do. So I'm very excited about it. So the rebranding has zero impact on the Christmas movie schedule. Again, 24/7 during the first weekend and probably 24/7 during the following weekend for the start on Hallmark Channel. So there's going to be 4 new movies for the Christmas in July season. All right. Now, I thought they were going to do 2. I thought they were going to take the 2 that they had on Hallmark, HMNow, Hallmark Movies Now. I thought they were going to take the 2 that they debuted there and never showed on the Hallmark Channel. I thought those were going to be the 2 movies the 2 new movies for Christmas in July. But it turns out I was wrong about that. So glad. So they're having 4 movies, 2 movies that are completely new, and 2 movies, and those 2 movies, Rescuing Christmas and An Ice Palace Christmas, that came from HMNow. So let's talk about the new movies that are coming in. So one of the new movies is called Falling Like Snowflakes. It stars Mark Rosner and Rebecca Dalton, and that premieres on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, June 29th at 8 p.m., right? So that's the first weekend of Christmas in July. The premise of the movie, a photographer, Dalton, determined to complete her exhibit by capturing a rare photo of a 12-sided snowflake, enlists the help of a childhood friend, Rosner, and they go on a mission they'll never forget. Okay, so I'm really excited about it. Now, I'm more excited about the second one because one of my favorite actresses is in this one. On July 20th, the second new movie will appear. So that's toward the end of Christmas in July. This one is called A Very Vermont Christmas. It stars Katie Leclerc and Ryan McPartlin. Now, I love both of them, like, so much. It will air on the Hallmark Channel at 8 p.m., right? The premise reads, a local champion skier, Leclerc, and Vermont brewmaster, McPartlin, team up with an unlikely match to create a seasonal microbrew in order to save her family's business by Christmas. Now, when I read this, I immediately thought of the Lifetime movie Christmas a la mode, where in this movie she had to come up with a new ice cream flavor to save her family's business, right? So so it sounds like, I know it's going to be super different, right? But the premise of it kind of sounds similar to what we've seen her in. In addition, right, you've got the other two movies from HMNow that I told you about. So Rescuing Christmas will premiere on July 13th. So that's kind of in the middle of Christmas and July. Rescuing Christmas was on HMNow. It's going to be showing on the Hallmark channel. It stars, like I said, Rachel Lee Cook and Sam Page. Very excited about that. Then check this out. Here's another one. So, if fans of Christopher Russell will get a chance to enjoy a brand new movie starring him and Ashley Newborough. Now, we know how I feel about Ashley. Like, I love Ashley too. She's one of my favorites. This movie will launch on Hallmark streaming service HMNow on Monday, July 1st. The movie is called Operation Nutcracker, and the synopsis is: when an antique nutcracker set to be auctioned at the Warby family Christmas charity goes missing, a demanding event planner, Newborough, and the heir to the Warby dynasty, Russell, try to track it down. So, so that's kind of interesting that they're going to put so they're going to show the two movies that are currently on HMNow that haven't been seen. They're going to show those on TV, and then they're putting another one on HMNow, which I, by the way, have subscribed to probably since they came out with the new streaming service, right? Like, I have all the streaming services. It's a wonder I am not broke, because I have all the streaming services, like everything. I have AMC Plus, and it's all due to Christmas movies. Thank you, Christmas movies. Every time a Christmas movie showing somewhere, I subscribe to something, and so now I have all these streaming services, and I think, well, by the time that I've actually watched all the movies, then the next Christmas rolls around, and I just hang on to them because I say, well, now there's a whole new set of movies. They know what they're doing. Hey, don't tell me they didn't figure that one out. They know people like me out here exist. Anyway, in addition, so that you know, on Hallmark, if you've been on Instagram or Twitter, I think even, Hallmark has been having their viewers vote on the fan favorite movies, right? I just voted today on 9 Kittens of Christmas. It was with like 4 movies at a time, and they ask you to pick your favorite. And then the fan favorites are going to play during the fan favorite marathon. Now, this fan favorite marathon will air June 28th at 8 p.m. through Monday, July 8th at 2 a.m. So now that runs basically the whole first week of Christmas in July. Fans can vote on their favorite films on the Hallmark Movie Checklist app, which I do have, but I rarely open, honestly, through June 23rd. So, yeah, you still got time. You still got another week or so, right? You'll also get a chance to win a VIP trip to the Hallmark Christmas Experience in Kansas City. I just told you guys about that in the last show. I am so looking forward to that. I really do think I'm going to make that a bucket list item if I have not. If I'm not lucky enough to win the contest, right? In addition, Hallmark Mystery will be airing Christmas movies at the end of June, as it typically does every year. I just told you guys that, according to the Hallmark Checklist app. So, let's get into what we're gonna see for Christmas in July, okay? Because now, let me tell you something. I did go into my menu, and I did look ahead. These movies can change and have changed and do change, but you know, I hope that it's at least close and that they don't like change them all. So here is what is scheduled as of today. to run for the first few days of Christmas in July, especially because it's 24/7 and we have to set our calendars and clocks so that we can watch our favorite movies. All right. So on Thursday on the Hallmark channel, they have The Royal Nanny playing with Rachel Skarsten. I loved that movie. I definitely think it was like in my top 10 in 2022, if I remember correctly. Okay? So that's Thursday. On Friday, on the Hallmark channel, we have our Fa La 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 Christmas Fridays, right? So for Fa La 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 Friday, we have the My Norwegian Holiday and the Santa Summit, both playing on Friday, so you can't miss that. But at the same time, on Hallmark Mystery, that's when Christmas in July begins, and so they're going to be running movies from 3 o'clock on, okay? So now, 3 o'clock, what starts at 3 o'clock? Time for Us to Come Home for Christmas, with the one with Lacey and Stephen Huzar. That comes on at 3. Now let me just tell you, for this whole weekend, the 3 days, you're going to see all the Time for Everybody to Come Home to whatever, right? All those movies are going to be playing at some point during this first holiday, okay? So after Time for Us to Come Home for Christmas is Christmas on My Mind with Andrew Walker. Of course, love him. To All a Good Night, one of my favorite movies from last year with Kimberly Susted. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. Mystery on Mistletoe Lane, that had Victor Webster. Love that. God Wink Christmas, going back a few years. The original God Wink with Paul Campbell and Kimberly Susted. Yes, that comes on at 11 o'clock. Saturday, starting at 1 a.m., Love You Like Christmas. Love that movie. Journey Back to Christmas, you know, Candace Cameron Bure is in that one. Christmas Wonderland with Emily Osment, right? Love her in that one. The Perfect Christmas Present with Sam Page. He's in that one. Christmas in Montana with Kelly Martin. Love her. She's in that one. A Glenbrook Christmas at 11 a.m. This is Saturday. You know, a Glenbrook Christmas is it features the two stars from Love at the Thanksgiving Parade, right? Autumn Reeser and Antonio Cupo. You know, I love them. I love them in the other movie better, but I like them in this one as well. The Christmas Promise with Tori DeVito. I love that one. That was, you know, tearjerker. So they've got like a string of tearjerkers here for Saturday evening, right? So The Christmas Promise, Miss Christmas Comes to Town, tearjerker. Heaven Down Here, tearjerker. Miracle in Bethlehem, tearjerker. So like it just kind of blows. It's like, you know, either don't watch Hallmark Mystery Channel or sit there with a box of Kleenex because you're gonna need them for every single movie that plays Saturday night. All right. So then after Miracle in Bethlehem, then we're gonna start getting into our Time to Come Home for Christmas. You know, them, her, him, everybody. Yeah, that's gonna start up. So the first movie after Miracle in Bethlehem is Time for Her to Come Home for Christmas with Sinead Rhimes. You know that one, right? Allie Liebert, you know, our girl Allie, she directed that one. Then there's Long Lost Christmas, right? That's with Taylor Cole. All right. Then Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas. Time for You to Come Home for Christmas, right? Those are back to backs in the middle of the night. You might not be up for them, but if you wake up early like I do, you may catch Once Upon a Christmas Miracle, which I love. I have seen that movie. That was one of the movies I lost off of my DVR. You better believe I will be putting it back on my DVR after this weekend. The next movie after that is A Christmas to Remember, which I love. And then Homegrown Christmas. Now listen to this. Homegrown Christmas. I actually loved this movie when it first came out, but this is one that starred Lori Loughlin and Victor Webster. And you know how Lori drifted off the channel for a while, but she's back with the vengeance now because they're showing all like the garage mysteries, right? The garage sale mysteries are all back on Hallmark Mysteries. So I'm really not surprised to see Homegrown Christmas back, right? Anyway, so she's back in full effect with Homegrown Christmas. I really actually hope they start bringing the other ones back. You know what I'm talking about, the North Pole movies, right? I hope they start bringing those back too, because I actually love the North Pole. After Homegrown Christmas, we have Time for Them to Come Home for Christmas with Jesse Schramm, one of my favorites, and then Time for Him to Come Home for Christmas with Tyler Hines and Holland Roden. And she was just in the Tip Line Mysteries. I saw her last night. Then we've got some of my favorites coming up. I'm so excited. Small Town Christmas, Ashley Newborough. A Veterans Christmas, well, you know that group the couple came from the other movie Christmas with Holly. You know what I'm talking about. That couple, they brought them back for Veterans Christmas. Their names just are not coming to me right now. I'm sorry, my coffee is wearing off. The next movie, My Christmas Guide, with the Heartland star is in that one, and A Season for Family. Okay, now, so that's going to round off the first weekend. So here's what happens. What happens during the week is that they have regular program for most of the day, but from 3 to 11 or 5 to 11, they're going to run Christmas movies. So Monday, starting at 3, they're going to have Project Christmas Wish, A Little Christmas Charm, Christmas Tree Lane, and The Northern Lights of Christmas. That's going to be the 9 to 11 movie. On Tuesday, they are going to have a World Record Christmas with Nikki DeLoach, a Godwink Christmas, Second Chance, First Love. I think that's the Sam Page and Brooke Diorce one. Christmas at Grand Valley, Danica, and then Hope at Christmas, right? So that is going to be Tuesday from 3 to 11, right? So probably from 3 to 11, 5 to 11, may switch off days depending on how many movies they want to show. But somewhere in there, we're going to have we're going to get our Christmas movie fix. So I'm really excited about that. But I'm more excited about when Hallmark movies come on. And I want to see beyond, fan favorite week and the first weekend, are they going to do 24/7 Christmas movies? Or is it going to be kind of the same where, they're going to be running Christmas movies maybe from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. or noon to 10 or 8 or something like that. I will be grateful, obviously, but, I'm spoiled. I want my 24/7 movies like they used to do it. Remember a few years ago maybe, they used to do 24/7 Christmas movies all summer. I mean, for the Christmas and July month, and now we don't have that. So I think a lot of people got angry because they missed the Golden Girls and Matlock, and and all the mystery shows, and so the Hallmark is trying to strike a happy medium. Okay, fine, whatever. I want to see Christmas movies. So that is going to do it for today. But please stay tuned because I have much more news coming up next week, and I have more new movies to talk about next week. A few movies that I didn't get to today that I will talk about next week. So that's going to do it. Thank you to my show editor and music editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show. He's at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about this show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. Podcast platforms: Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. Follow on Twitter and IG, Chicks Christmas Flicks. Chicks with an X, CHX, Christmas Flicks, FLX. That's going to be on both Twitter and on IG. And, for the old school among us, I really am going to try and get to setting up a Facebook page. I have not done that. So for the Generation X among us, anybody with me out there, I'm going to set up a Facebook page where I can post all the fun stuff that I post regularly on Facebook about Christmas movies. Now I'll be able to share it with you guys. So that is coming up really, really soon. Thank you so much for listening in, and I will definitely see you next week because we're going to be talking about what's going to be showing Christmas in July. Not only what's on Hallmark Mystery, but what's coming up on the Hallmark channel. So stay tuned. Thank you.